Have you ever gotten a compliment that was so good you still remember it to this day? Everybody loves compliments, and I feel like we need to normalize giving people compliments more often. Because like, you never know what someone's going through, and simply one compliment could change the rest of their day. So in this video, I want to give some non-physical compliments you can tell anyone, doesn't have to be a guy, doesn't have to be a girl, it can be anyone, that just makes them feel better. And I am going to give you word-for-word phrases in this video, but here's the thing. As I'm going through them, don't just like write down notes of each one of these, remember them and understand why they work so well so that when you're in your life, you're not just going to like open your notes and like say some phrase you wrote down. You can actually say something that is related to what they're doing because these are non-physical, which means they have to follow some sort of action they probably did right before that inspired you to say it. That way when you give him a compliment, it's actually unique, something he's never heard before, and it's going to make it hit different than any other compliment that he's ever heard prior. Assuming he even gets compliments at all. I thought it was really interesting. There's actually been studies that show guys get way less compliments than you would think. Why is it? I'm not really sure. I have my own theories. If you have your theories as well, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. I would like to hear some opinions on this. I just know there's this one quote I heard that said, "The average guy is so starved of positive attention that a simple compliment is enough to make him interested in you." Which is why one of the tips I give my students is write down compliments that other people give you. Have a whole Rolodex of compliments that you can just open up at any point. Because if you're ever having a bad day, you're not feeling good about yourself, you literally have a list of all these compliments you've received. You just start reading them and you'll start feeling better about yourself instantly. But like I said earlier, the key to a non-physical compliment that actually makes them feel special is it can't just be out of the blue. It can't just be random. It's going to be so much better if you say it after they did something that inspired you to respond that way. And one of the easiest ones to remember and just make a habit in your everyday life, let's say you're going out with a guy and he does something like, let's just say he opens the door for you. It's a very small gesture. Every gentleman should do that when he's on a date. But instead of you expecting it and maybe just giving a small thank you, if you really show appreciation for him doing that in that moment, it's gonna make him doing that thing feel really good. Because just saying thank you isn't really a compliment, but when you show genuine appreciation, you're like, thank you so much, I really appreciate that, that suddenly becomes a compliment because you're saying you appreciate them and what they did for you. That's how you make them feel valued for the effort that they're putting in, and then they're gonna wanna do more things. And guess what? When both of you are doing that for each other, that's just a really happy and healthy relationship. But not only that, you can build on top of a thank you in a million different ways. For example, let's say he opens the car door for you and that's something that you don't usually have happen for you. You guys don't normally do that. You can point that out. Like, you can tell him, like, I don't remember the last time someone opened a door for me. Like, you're amazing. Just giving him that feeling of individuality because he's doing something that you don't normally get, that's basically your way of saying, hey, you're not like other guys, without just straight up saying you're not like other guys, because that's a cliche. Another way you can build off of that would be saying something like, yo, the world needs more people like you. Now you're giving them an even stronger emotion called significance. Every person on the planet is walking around with an invisible sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. Make me feel significant, because most people don't, and that's actually one of the biggest reasons people decide to end their lives. Because they don't feel like they're important, that the world wouldn't miss them. And when you tell someone something like, the world needs more people like you when they do kind things to other people, that's something people remember. Worldly compliments are a really big one. Another version of a worldly compliment would be like, let's say you guys are having a conversation about something, you're sharing opinions. It could be anything, by the way. It could be talking about politics, or it could be talking about like a band both of you like that most people aren't into. Whatever it is, just say something like, I wish more people saw the world like us. You're basically telling them a multitude of things. Number one, you understand me. Number two, I understand you. And number three, not many other people do. And that's something known as the Romeo and Juliet effect, which I actually wrote an entire book on. I'm not plugging it right now. I'm just saying, like, I wrote a whole book because it's a really strong concept. But the reason it's called that is because the Romeo and Juliet story is basically about two people who liked each other, and then their parents, like the whole world, didn't want them to be together. And that outside force that was against them actually made their love for each other stronger. And so when you start to create that story with someone where it's like, hey, me and you get each other in a way that other people don't, not only is it romantic, but it's like actually true. You're not just like using some weird tactic to try and trick someone into liking you. It's like you genuinely understand each other. And just as long as you're remembering these kind of things when you're talking to someone, you want to give them a genuine compliment, they're gonna remember it. If you have any more questions about this topic, or if you want to get a copy of that book, I'll put a link to my phone number in the description down below so you can shoot me a text. Just send me the word hey, just say what's up, and I'll respond and I'll talk to you there. It's also the best way for me to be able to contact you guys and let you know when I release new videos and things like that. But anyway, guys, that's really all I've got to say on it, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.